No, it is. And so, speaking of women, and I guess a little bit of their toxic habits and behaviors,
Okay.
what do you think about this toxic masculinity trend that's going around?
Man, I think that's just bull.
Do you think people are going overboard with it?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you want a man to be masculine?
Of course. You should be.
But they're trying to make it seem as though that we need to be more feminine and this and that's why a lot of these kids are growing up like punks.
But they're correlating it with abuse. They're saying that if you're a strong masculine man,
but that's
you're
what I'm saying.
you're abusive.
You're abusive, and that's not true.
But there are men who are abusive. And
but that's not what they're.
But that doesn't have anything to do with masculinity because a lot of dudes that abuse women are pussies. It is a fact. Like a lot of dudes. Some of them. Some of them aren't. Some of them. Some of them were just raised to where that's what their dad did, and their dad taught them. They think that's right. But like a lot of dudes, a lot of dudes that like abuse women, they really just kind of abuse them because they feel insecure about something, and it's usually their masculinity, and they feel like they got to take that shit out on them.
You know what? I think that some of it is really because of control.
Yeah. Oh, control is everything, but that has to do with insecurity.
Yeah.
Like having control issues, feeling like you need to control somebody's decisions, their behaviors. You got to make sure that you know where they're at all the time and shit. You can't let them live their life. That has a lot to do with insecurity. Like most people that have those control issues and will not leave the person alone or leave them to live their life. A lot of that is just because you're insecure about what they're going to do and who they're going to talk to and where they're going to go. Like, you don't trust them, you know?
Well, I truly believe, like, a lot of this is based off of this women liberation thing and feminism, whatever it's called or whatever. Everybody want people to be nicer and politically correct.
Yeah.
Like, whereas people just, that's not reality, man. And I think that we're creating a world full of punks. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like, everybody's so afraid to say what they thinking. Because if they say the wrong thing, you'll be canceled.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Can't get a job.
You can't get a job.
You'll lose your friends.
You lose all your friends. People, you got to think people will stop talking to you.
They will. People you've known for years.
Family.
Yeah.
You'll lose your family behind it. And it's like, really?
Yep.
Like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's weird, man. I don't believe in toxic masculinity because if there's a toxic masculinity, then there should be a toxic femininity.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there should be, and I believe
there
is.
Have one without the other.
No, you're right.
But I think I think the whole feminine movement is toxic.
Yeah.
Because they're attacking anything that makes you a man.
Yeah.
That makes you like they don't want you to control things. They don't want you to open doors. They don't want you to lead the way. They don't want to be submissive. They just and submissive has nothing to do with doing everything I tell you to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it does.
It's just weird. I just guess that for me, I just think that we're living in an age where we need to really be careful because our kids. The very same thing that we that we're fighting against are these sensitive boys because a lot of the women who's pushing this agenda, they wouldn't even date these type of guys.
No, they wouldn't. And that's a good point because I was actually talking to a friend the other day who is a girl, and she was mentioning to me because she just started dating again. Like she got out of a relationship. She just started putting herself back out there, and she hasn't dated in a while. And now that she's back out there now, she's noticing that the roles are switching. Women are approaching men more. And then the men that approach women, a lot of the men that are taking these women out now, they act like women.
Yeah, like women.
Yeah. And I think that it has an effect on our kids. Like it's having an effect on young kids, man, because they're growing up thinking that it's wrong to be a man. Like it's wrong to be masculine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying a lot of these kids being raised into guys that they moms wouldn't even date.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's crazy. Like I've been saying these things, but who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah, no.
But, you know.
Yeah, hey. And just like, who are they? Like, who are they to tell us, like...
Well, we've been allowing it because you got so many men that think that women have been abused for so long, and they so sensitive to that because of their mother. They may have seen their mother get beat up by their dad, or see their mother being mistreated by their dad, and so they assume these ideas from women, and then as they get older, they just regurgitate that information back into the society, and now we living in a society where you can't even have a freedom of speech about anything, or someone's gonna have a problem with it. Yeah.
Now we're living in a time where you have to be not only politically correct, but you have to be socially correct. Like exactly. Anybody could argue this. It is kind of like conspiracy theory type thing, but like, man, our country is kind of like becoming a socialist country a little bit. Like
I mean, but it's happening behind women.
Yeah.
We're giving women so much power now.
Yeah.
Women are making more money than men, and not white men, but I mean, women are given more power now. Even though it's nothing wrong with that, having women have a little bit more power and things, and being on the same level, but you have to understand that we're designed to be leaders.
Yeah.
Men are designed to be leaders and to lead families and households and things like that. Women are not really built for that.
Yeah.
Like if you notice, you'll have women, they make $100,000. They want their man to make 100 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they're not built to take care of anybody.
Yeah.
Right? That's a man's job to take care of family. So when they're looking for a mate, they want their mate to either make more or be equal to them of what they're making.
And we don't think of it like that. We think
men don't think like
we don't really care what you make.
I can give two shits about what you make. You know, what you make is not.
Yeah, because I got this.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
You. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna take care of you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with you being independent and everything like that, but you must understand that as me being a man, I'm going to want to lead, and I'm going to want to control certain situations, because as a man, I feel like we have more of a sound mind to make good decisions, not based off an emotion, not based off I don't like this person, and what someone think about me. I'm making this decision because it's the right decision to make.
Yeah, even if you don't want to make it.
Even if I don't want to make it.
Yeah, no, it's a great point.
Yeah,
and I feel like they should allow us to be men. They should allow us to make those decisions. Exactly. Because I have noticed that when we do leave it up, a lot of the time, if you're in a relationship and you leave them or leave it up to them to make those decisions, a lot of the time they'll get frustrated, they'll get flustered, and they look at you like you're supposed to be doing this. Yeah. So, but you also have to allow me to do it.
Have you ever like, I don't know if you ever been in a situation. I know people, and even myself, I've stayed with a woman at her place and stuff. Mm-hmm. Not actually living off of them or anything like that, but I've stayed at a woman's place before, and I would never do it again just because of the experience I had. Mm. And it wasn't that it was just horrible. It was just the fact was, at any time that we got into an argument, there was something of like, oh, she could hold that over my head and say, hey, you got to get out of my place. Mm-hmm. So I made sure that anytime or anything, you would never be able to kick me out.
Yeah.
Because this is mine.
Yeah.
I will make sure of that. But I don't know. I just feel like women have gotten to a point to where they want to be men in a relationship now. They the ones out here fighting. They're the one doing all the cussing and throwing and jumping off in places and stuff. They're not even being women anymore. But no one's holding them accountable. Just like when women are not held accountable for putting their hands on men. I don't give a damn what you think. You don't put your hands on me. I was gonna say something else, but I had to catch myself. But you don't put your hands on me.
Yeah.
You have many women, and I used to work with a few, that believe if they hit you and that man hit you back, he's not a man. For one. They feel like they can hit you with no repercussions. That's a problem for me. Because if you still off on me, you just told me I could still off on you. Now, I may not ever do it because I'm not that guy, but I've had situations I've been in where things like that happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it didn't go well, you know, in that situation.
Yeah. Now that's when jiu-jitsu comes in.
Yeah, but
get those leg locks and those head locks.
Yeah, it sounds good, but I mean, if somebody hitting on you, you gotta defend yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that we just live in a culture that they feel like women just you can't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Can't do anything to them. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see a lot of that. They do make it to where you can't do anything to them, but I don't know. It really just kind of depends on the woman, because there's some women out there that could really knock you out, put you in the hospital and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not trying to date those women. Anyway.
Yeah, but me personally, man, like I've never been in like an abusive relationship. I've never been in a situation where like I've been hit or I've hit like anybody. But so I don't really know like what I would do if I did get hit by a woman like that. But I would hope that I wouldn't hit her. Yeah. But I can't say for sure because I've never been in that situation. But I would hope that I wouldn't, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the only way you're gonna find out if it ever happened. Hopefully, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I hope. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, I don't wish it on anybody. I wouldn't want to be in that situation anymore.
Yeah.
I just try to stay away from toxic relationships. If we're gonna sit around and argue all the time, I don't want to be with you. Yeah. Like, what's the point of being with somebody I gotta argue with?
Nah, it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be giving to each other, and
yeah,
I'm supposed to be getting a benefit out of this. You're supposed to be like, we're supposed to be making each other feel good. We're supposed to be on the same team. Like, if we're working against each other, then we're obviously not on the same team. So
exactly,
it's time to move on.
Exactly.
Yep.